CHR measures just 171.2 inches in overall length, putting it below the RAV4 in Toyota's lineup. Interior space in the front feels ample. The dash is simple and minimal, with both the XLE and the XLE Premium lines including a 7-inch multimedia screen, a 4.2-inch display in the center stack between the gauges, a single USB port, large cup holders in the center console and doors, plus a cubby for storage located under the climate controls. There are no fancy flourishes here, just basic, no-frills functionality, something Toyota fans hold in the highest esteem. From the back seat, however, the CHR is cramped and coffin-like, at best. The design of the rear window feels like something out of a 1970s-era airplane. To see out of it, you need to simultaneously lean forward and sit bolt upright. The rear door panel sits so high on the rear passenger seat that, even at 5'7", I had a hard time seeing out the window. Children in car seats would fare far worse. Sitting in the back of the CHR can encourage car sickness if your passengers are prone to it because there's no sightline to either the windshield or out the side window. It's a lot like being confined in a submarine, and the CHR doesn't come with an optional sunroof, so it feels even more casket-like. Toyota calls the coupe UV a crossover, but it's a crossover in marketing speak only. It borrows from the design successes of other coupes in the segment, with its raked roofline, 4 doors and raised beltline. Ignoring the fact that consumers might have some confusion about which STD-sounding acronym vehicle they're driving, CHR stands for Coupe High Rider. High Rider is a rather loose term, however. The 2018 Toyota CHR gets just 5.9 inches of ground clearance. A 2017 Toyota Camry has 6.1 inches of clearance. Oh, and in case you were wondering, the CHR doesn't get all-wheel drive, either. You can't even get all-wheel drive in the highest trim, the XLE Premium. Toyota is positioning the CHR as an entry point for millennials who want a stylish, city-use crossover that doesn't cost a lot and comes relatively loaded. When it goes on sale in April this year, the 2018 Toyota CHR XLE will run buyers $22,500 plus $960 delivery. The XLE Premium, which gets you a few upgrades like heated seats, lane departure warnings and folding mirrors, will cost $24,350 plus $960 delivery. The CHR, in all trims, comes with Toyota's Safety Sense P system that includes pre-collision, active braking, pedestrian detection and lane departure alert with steering assist. The CHR also includes a pretty decent radar-based dynamic cruise control in all trims, too. Outside of this, however, options are non-existent. It's what you can't get in the CHR that is puzzling. There is no navigation option, no option for additional USB ports and no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. You can, however, order it in an R-code livery that gives it a white roof and a unique set of colors, including an incredibly good-looking radiant green mica. While that seems completely backward, it makes some sense when you consider the development history of the CHR. This was the Toyota that was going to save Scion. According to Product General Manager Hiro Koba, the CHR began development back in 2012, but it hasn't seen the light of day until now. Scion, Toyota's entry-level brand, was killed off last year, leaving the vehicle to languish in Toyota's crowded lineup, hence the CHR was born as an entry-level crossover with minimal options. What the CHR does have is design in spades. The proportions and shape are interesting and rather pleasing to look at. Angular, low and fast-looking, the CHR is a head-turner. Rather surprisingly, in our time with the little vehicle on roads around Austin, Texas, a young man in a Tesla P90D pulled up next to us, got our attention and gave the thumbs up, before dusting us on a 2-lane highway. In a time when most automotive designers are deleting character lines and flourishes, Toyota is adding them left and right with an unabashed passion. It's refreshing to see. There's a strong cohesiveness to the brand, and it's seen in the CHR. The distinctive diamond shape appears along the entire side of the crossover and again in pressed forms in the interior roof. Designers put such a high value on that pattern that they didn't want to have an unwieldy door handle interrupt the angular lines along the side. As a result, they decided to move the rear passenger door handles to the top seam of the door, putting them well out of the reach of little hands or those of diminutive stature. While Toyota says it is targeting young families with the CHR, kids will have a tough time reaching those rear door handles without help. The front grille still gets Toyota's incredibly polarizing maw. As another journalist astutely pointed out, especially in white, the CHR looks a lot like an angular version of Falker, Atreu's dragon from 1984 kids movie, The Never-Ending Story. The rear of the CHR gets emblazoned with a couple of protruding taillights that, unfortunately, when viewed at an angle can look a bit like a bloom of high school acne. The most striking angle, by far, is the hard side,